So I was sitting here, I was bored. I figured I'd make this for the Insta. Some might say that I have a diverse background in being a Rolling Stone. And so I'd figure I'd show you how I do it in hopes that maybe somebody might find some of it useful. So it's not a flex obviously, but I've gotten pretty good at finding out what I need and what I don't need. Starts off with the jacket. Got some cold weather gloves, a hoodie, beanie. I like these bags because they're flexible, so they fit into tight corners you couldn't necessarily fit something else in. So basic clothing, dirty laundry bag, hygiene box, and I tier stuff. So if I'm getting on a plane, I got a different hygiene box, but if I got my car, I got a little bit more room. So socks, underoos, and fanny packs for almost all occasions. Pretty much always have a water bottle and a ham radio. Charger. Bible to go with the fanny packs. iPad. Work computer. Now we'll get to the good stuff. At a minimum, I'll normally have my backpack, which has a charger, extra power pack, extra battery for my radio, some odds and ends, tweezers, bug spray, cleaner, some chapstick. Obviously, this has a little fire starter, emergency blanket, little compass, flashlight, good Leatherman. This is my work stuff, work paperwork, and then this is my ham radio, big boy. Plug that into my car. This is the antenna for it. Fits into a bag. Obviously sunscreen, bug spray. This is what I think took me the most time to develop, but also is the most significant piece of my equipment, because once you start to tier things out, you realize, you go, well, if I can only fit in my car what I can fit in my car, what am I going to take? Which is all of this. But if I could only take what is on my person, what am I going to take? And that would be that. So some people might be uncomfortable by that conversation, but I've gotten pretty good at it. This front pack here easily removable because it's kind of my cold weather gear stuff. So if I need to, got some tight thermals, nice light jacket, obviously light is key here, some decent waterproof pants. Then we got the ginger hat to go along with the sunscreen and the bug spray. Just standard tarp, lightweight, effective. When used with paracord, you can make some stuff out of that. Inside of here, got some fresh wool socks. Sunscreen. Really, really important for somebody like me. Then I got pockets. So these are my fancy Red Wing gloves. I'm a fan of kangaroo gloves, very much so. And this is a pretty nice little Husky headlight. It's got a rechargeable power pack in it for USB, and it also takes 3 AAAs if you need it. It's good because you kind of want one with a red light. It's good for nighttime if you're having to read and not draw too much attention to yourself. So once you start to get into that stuff, it can be problems. So red headlamp. This one's pretty good. Down here, this is a Duralog. They have a better version of this that has little smaller packets that I'm probably going to purchase just so that I don't have to have multiple small ones. But this is great Girl Scout juice. This is just a cheap little AM/FM shortwave radio. Got a headset in there, so if you ever need to, you can listen to the radio at a minimum. Obviously, a pack for my radio. In addition to that, I also have this cool little thing, which is like a trip sensor. So I got some primers in there. You hook it up to a cable if you're sleeping or whatever. You need a perimeter. That's good tripwire. And then obviously a set of binoculars. That's a pack for my radio. This side, easily accessible. Probably the most important part of this kit. First aid kit. These things ain't cheap, but it's got standard stuff in it. Tweezers, gloves, antiseptic, ibuprofen, some poison ivy and anti-itch stuff. And obviously water. Nalgene case. Inside here I got a Sawyer water pack. Actually pretty cool. It's got a syringe for rationing if you needed to ration your water. It's also got this, which you can put in line. I have a what are they called? The bicycle camel packs in that as well, which you can put this in line with, which is kind of cool. Sawyer is also a really great company. They do a lot of philanthropic work for fresh water in Africa. Good company to support should you find yourself. Inexpensive, cheap Walmart saw if you needed to cut some branches down, make some firewood. That's something that becoming very helpful. More socks, hygiene, toilet paper, and then a beanie, another beanie with some warm weather gloves, and just a black common trash bag, which can be used as a rain fly, but it can also be used to hide your stuff in if you needed to store it somewhere. Be less visible. That's another thing about this bag too, is you don't want something that looks super tactical or anything. This is just a light rain fly. Keep you dry. Add some warmth if you needed to layer. Just a little sleeping bag. It's rated to 40 degrees. It's about as good as it gets, because I was in 30 degrees the other night and I was cold. I had to get out and layer. But it does what it needs to do, especially if you layer. This is a insulated air mat that you blow. Not only does it make it more comfortable to sleep, but it insulates you from the ground, which is really important if it is cold. So it's not only comfort, but insulation. This is a hammock. If you don't want to sleep on the ground, it's good to have the option to get off the ground. And if you're going to get off the ground, it's also good to have a bug fly. So this can go on the bug fly to protect you from bugs. So I actually have a fishing pole on here too. It's just like an ugly stick from Walmart, but I got it disassembled. So here's the reel, which I keep inside these cups to kind of protect it. Cups are useful, just like bowls are useful. Something you don't think about, bowls. This is actually my tackle box, which is kind of cool because it's flat and light. Doesn't take up a lot of space, but I got weights and pretty much anything I need in here. This is another rain fly, but it's also camo, which could be beneficial. It's a little bit heavy, but I'm obviously not worried about weight given mine. I got some paracord in here, Leatherman, knife sharpener. I do have a decent knife on that pack as well, and kind of some redundancy, a couple whistles, because I like to tell people what to do and put them in the penalty box, and a fire starter with another mini compass on there. Some playing cards. Just a little roll of some duct tape, super glue, and another, it's a saw that can be used for cutting down foliage, things like that if you needed it. That's another thing too, is just because you cut down wood doesn't mean it's going to burn. It has to be dry. So more super glue. Super glue is very useful, especially for first aid. Can be used as the ultimate band-aid. I've got a Zippo in here, some universal cables, a couple batteries if I needed it for the headlamp, and obviously bags, something for matches, just simple things. Probably the most important part is the hygiene kit, right? More ibuprofen. I got some pain meds, some antibiotics, bug spray, sewing kits, baby powder, some hand warmers, a sheet of paper if you ever needed to leave notes, and then some basically baby wipes if you needed to give yourself a horse bath. You could go ahead and do that. Simple cooking kit that you can cook on a fire. It's got a bowl, some silverware, and a can opener. Can opener is important. Extra fishing line if I needed it. So different test fishing line. 1/4, 1's 10. And this might be my favorite thing right here. This is pretty cheap on Amazon. It's a Road Atlas. It's got all the different locations and freeways and stuff if you ever needed to. You could navigate without your phone. And just a simple wool blanket. Again, not very expensive on Amazon. And then this is the pack. Pretty lightweight. Got a camel bag on there. Again, camel bag's cool because you can hook that Sawyer straw up to it if you need to. I also have some water treatment. So something that's interesting is if you go to, you want to get it at Leslie's Pool Supply, because the pool shock there is high concentration pool shock, hydrosodium chlorinate, whatever, but it's 100%. The stuff you get at Walmart, it's like 50%, but that's essentially the reason you use it to create bleach. And bleach doesn't store, but this stuff stores. So I have the ability to treat about 3 gallons of water. Each one of those gallons. So if I separate this up into thirds, 1/3 of this would be good for 1 gallon of water. And then basically you use 1 shot of that concentrate per gallon, and you can treat water. Crayons are good to burn for lights, so you can use crayons to leave messages, but you can also burn them as candles. And then I got a piece of paper here, and it's got just addresses and phone numbers written down in case my phone doesn't work for some reason. I have important addresses on there. And another thing that I got's pretty cool is when I was working, I came across the map, and it's a map of all the rail systems. So if for some reason I did need to expand off of the road map, I have the map for all the railways, which is kind of cool. But then some of this stuff's just fun thinking about doing it. And then I got a fishing rod sitting here in the back, not only for food but for leisure if I needed it. That's why you want to have, like, I got playing cards too, but just something to do if you need it. And then last not least, just a pretty stout single blade knife with tourniquet. This thing could split wood if I could split wood with it if I needed to. It's pretty heavy, and then I got a sharpener. So, yeah, that's what I got. So, some things to think about. Glow sticks are another thing. I got some power bait in here, another water bottle, and peanut butter packets. Peanut butter packets, they store. They're a good source of energy. And yeah, hopefully that's